We exist! And we've got the sewing machine out today. My clipper blades still haven't come in, so I did use, Forest's clippers to shave the crotch pieces, because that's what we ended up doing. Hello, you! I thought you were dying. You don't have to watch stream if you're not feeling good. It's gonna be a mostly quiet stream today anyway. I'm looking for pieces. Pieces. That's a crotch piece. Outer thigh. Inner thigh. So, I'm watching with my eyes half closed. That's fair. Look at you go. Dude, you're gonna have the biggest streak out of anybody on these streams. Okay, so this needs to go like so, and then this does go all the way up to here. So that means something or other. That means something. I don't know what it means. This, okay, that's what that means. We can pretend it's a nap. You know, a pretend nap is better than no nap. But we're finally going to be able to start sewing the bodysuit together. And depending on how things go, maybe get all the pieces sewn. Hydrate, bitch. I don't even have a drink. Let me go grab a Coke. You know what? I'll keep Jay from being all pissed off at me. Flavored water. Sparkling water. So Jay doesn't have to be mad about my hydration habits. It's full of... Do you want to smell my bubble water? Want to smell? It's got aspartame in it. Mmm. This water's full of cancer. Honestly, the Powerade is probably better than this water is, because this water's got water, citric acid, potassium citrate, natural flavor, aspartame, potassium benzoate as a preservative, and I want to say acesulfame potassium, and it contains phenylalanine, so if you take certain medications, you cannot drink this water. Yeah. It's definitely not near Sips Dr. Pepper. Wait, why did it light up like that? Hold on, hold on. I want to click this Dr. Pepper link. I think it's just because you put period Dr. Pepper, so it hyperlinked it. That would be hilarious if it actually like hyperlinked to the Dr. Pepper website, though. I was all excited for a second. I thought it was a thing. They should be smart and do things like this. Sips coffee. See? You guys can't bitch about me being hydrated. While drinking Dr. Pepper and coffee. The only person who's allowed to bitch here is Quinn. They get it. Yeah. You guys tell me if this is super fucking loud. Hold on, I gotta find my pedal. There we go. You tell me if this is super fucking loud or not. Is that super fucking loud? Should I mute my mic when I sew? Or is it quiet enough that nobody cares? Head vibrates. Yeah, see, you're fine. If you watch closely, you'll see my whole desk is shaking. It's super fucking loud. Okay. I'll mute it while I sew then. I'll mute it while I sew. I'm realizing my fucking seams ain't lining up. So that's no bueno. That does happen sometimes with how I pattern, because I do not pattern accurately in the slightest. Can I help you, sir? Okay, cool. Glad we got that figured out, I guess. Just comes over and looks at me. I'm gonna trim this a little bit so that way we have a bit more flex in our fabric. And then we're just gonna stitch from the opposite direction. We're gonna trim this so we have a bit more flex in our fabric. He is here. He is laying on all of the important pieces. He only ever lays on the pieces I'm trying to actively sew. Like there's 7 pieces on the floor, and he lays on the one piece I'm gonna be working on after this. Yeah, you little shit. You're laying on the one piece. Like that anime. Muting! This bitch is over here letting out the most rancid farts ever. What the hell, guys? Bingus! Holy fuck, man. And I folded my fabric, so now there's that. Oops, I don't think it matters too much. Thank you for the gift! Thank you for gifting the sub! Holy shit, guys! Would you believe it? You were the first person. Hype train! Guys! Things are happening! Okay, first off, you're the first person to ever gift a sub, Mr. Anonymous, or Miss Anonymous, or that person Anonymous. Ha! Ha! Guys! Hype train! It's the first hype train ever! This is the most hype. I'm like doing the shittiest stream I've ever done, and this is the most hype we are ever getting. Thank you for the subs. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for the hype train. We are vibing today. Except for Amber. Amber's dying today. But we're doing it! Alright. Them's is the rules. Not allowed to die because there's a hype train. Got it? No more flu allowed. Everybody stop being sick with the flu. You got a hype train. Hype train cures all. I need my slicker brush. Slicker brush. Found it. Oh god, everything. Thank you for the anonymous subs. Holy crap. Everybody's getting subs today. Thank you for the gift subs. Oh my god, I'm cured. Yeah, good job, buddy. You're cured. You don't have the flu no more. Tell your chicken to stop judging you. Hype train! Hype train! You know what this means? You know what this means? Da-da-da-da-da! Emote time. We partying. I need like a super hype party mode. That might be what we do next time, is we get a super hype party mode. Specifically for when stuff like this happens. Super hype party mode! Super hype party mode! Spam the chat with emotes, guys! Do it! Spam it! Look at all those little guys bouncing on the screen. Look at them go! Someday, I want there to be enough people in chat spamming emotes that you can't even see me on screen anymore. It's nothing but an explosion of emotes. That's what I want. I want it to just explode. Yes! Emotes! Oh, look at the little tiny duckies! Oh, those are so cute. Spam the emote. What in the... Jay, what the fuck is that? Yes! Oh, guys, the 3D printer's done. Also, I'm going to show you guys, because I've been doing this for like the last week. So, I can't show you because it's way over there. But I've been 3D printing the shelvings for my for my spools. So now they could, like my embroidery thread spool, so they could sit up real nice and shit. So now we got these things, which are going to hold the little bottom bobbins right on top, and the little small bobbins will sit on top with the same color, so they can all be buddy-buddy together, and I don't have to go through and find them. It'll be dope. Problem is I have 78 bobbins. I have 78 different colors that I need to print these little clips for, and I can only print them 3 at a time because my printer is a pain in my ass. So, we're working on it. Come on, printer. There we go. We're doing it, guys. We're doing it. Hi, baby mans. Hello. Yeah. It's technically I buy... Boop the baby mans. Baby mans. You gotta get booped. You gotta get booped. Come here. Come here, come here. Boop, 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 boop. Camera can't even see you. Boop, 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 boop. He sat as far away as possible to not let you see him get booped. Come here. Come here. Yeah. Yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Mwah. Mwah. There you go. Baby man's got booping. He's like, I don't know what's happening, but it sure is. He's just confused. He's confused, but he's here for it. Say this is fine. He had his tail wagging as fast as it could go, which is not very fast. Do not! You stay out of the garbage bag. I have a bag full of, like, the fur I just shaved, and he loves eating faux fur, because he's an asshole. Do you know how awful it is when you have to go pick up shit, and 90% of it is, like, bright rainbow colors, because he's inhaled, just eaten so much faux fur, and he can't digest it, so he just comes out with furry poops? It's awful. He hasn't done it in a hot minute, so... But I do still have to yell at him every now and then to get his fucking face out of there. Because he will. Every now and then he'll pick up a crumb and be like, ooh, piece of candy. And it's like, that's not a piece of candy. It's not a snack for dogs. I need my big scissors, because that'll make this easier. We're going to trim... We're going to trim all this excess fuzzies off the inside of our seams that we brushed out. So for those who want to make suits in the future, right, with your bodysuits, if you go over the back side of your seams, if you go over this side of your seam with a slicker brush and brush it out, it'll pull all of the extra fur out of the seam, and it will help hide your seams, because that's what causes them to show up, is all of the excess fur smushed onto the seam. So if you pull out all the excess, it hides the seam better and it makes a smoother transition, and you won't see it as much. So brush and trim and brush and trim. Brush from the front side too, but trim from the back side. Hype chest? Open the hype chest? Mega consume emote? I don't know what this means. Guys. Choo-choo! We have that now. I don't know if we have that or if I have that. Do we all have that? Not gonna lie. Might make a patch version of that. Eventually, someday, I will have so many emotes. We all have that! Yes! Hooray! I love the power of Hype Train. Look at us go, guys. Look at us go. We're vibing. We're doing it. Oh, you didn't get one? No! You... Ah! But you subbed at everything today! I feel like that should have counted. I feel like that should have counted towards the Hype Train. I don't know how Hype Trains work. Is it only gift subs that count towards Hype Trains? I feel like that should have counted. Can I help you, sir? Amber's got a little... You got a little train next to your name. That's cute. That is very, very cute. Guys, we hyping today. That's alright. Now we'll know for future reference if you want the fun emote. Hype train needs to be actively going when you sub for... That's dumb. If I knew what triggered the hype train, it's probably the gift subs that triggered I don't know the rules. I'm sorry, I forgot to mute. I forgot that I had to mute whenever I was sewing. Hopefully that wasn't too freaking loud. My bad. Head's still fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I'm an idiot. Rattled to the bus. But look, guys, I sewed this one spot together. Which, it does look stupid, but this is the crotch, so you're not going to see it. Now I just gotta do the other one. And then we can finally, after all these years, do the thing. Well, I know this is the other leg I need. There's the other crotch piece. So I know somehow, I think the way these go together is that I have to sew something. I have to sew something together. I don't know what I have to sew, actually. What I do know... This is the inside of the crotch seam, right? So these have to come up together, which means it should be like this. So I think I have to sew the inner thighs, sew the crotch seams together. So then I have like this weird... It'll give me this weird like little kind of V shape. And that's what I need to sew onto this center line, so I could sew on a little triangle, so I could sew on the side panel, so I could sew the shoulders, so I could sew the side panels. So I could sew the legs and the arms. Does that make sense? And then bam, fursuit. It doesn't make sense to me either, so don't worry. But piece, really weird. Is printer! What do you mean, right? It did that thing again. So my printer lately has been deciding that it doesn't like heating up the nozzle, and thus just decides it doesn't need to print. Like, it throws back an error for some reason. I think I have a sensor going bad. Yes, this will be on the test. I don't know how to grade it, though, so I'm just going to give everybody an A. Sound fair? Everybody passes. We start doing, like, stream quizzes. Like, everybody has to... Dude, stream Kahoot! I'm gonna make some Kahoots and we'll stream them. That's what'll happen. So, I have an idea, right? Stream Kahoots, guys. Stream Kahoots. So, I'm going to start doing what I'm calling Dog Day streams. A-Dog-A-Day streams. Which is not going to be our dogs. It's not going to be the Bingus and the Baby Mans. Bingus, you have a fur on you. What we're going to do is we're going to go over and learn about a single breed every day, right? We're going to learn, like, the history of the breed. We're going to learn, like, the characteristics, stuff like that. And then we're going to do a little doodle. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to draw whatever dog we're learning about that day afterwards. And we'll make, like, a little sticker or something out of it. But I think it'd be fun if the following stream, there is a quiz. There is a Kahoot quiz on the last breed we studied. Like its origin and stuff like that. So then we actually retain the info, maybe. Probably not. We probably not retain the info. But like, and then eventually, once when we start running out of dogs, we'll do a cat-a-day stream. And we'll go over different kinds of cats. And maybe even different kinds of dinosaurs. And we'll do the exact same thing, but with different animals. Like, I think that would be dope. You know? Just make an animal-a-day stream. Well, of course you're hyped about the cats. But here's the thing, right? Like, we could go over birds. So here's the thing. I have books on cat breeds, dog breeds, wildlife of the world, and I do have birds of North America. So, exactly, Pets 101 up in this bitch. So we are absolutely going to sit here and, like, I think doing a little Kahoot at the beginning of each of those streams for whatever we went over the last time would be so fun. I wish there would be a way for me to, like, reward the winner with, like, channel points or something. Or maybe we could just run a poll, but then you can only do 2 answers on the polls, I think. Because I think I can only do, like, a yes or no on the polls. Yeah. Create a new poll. Let's see. No, I could do, this is a question, and then I could do up to, I think, 5 answers. So, we don't even have to do Kahoot. We could just run a poll, and you could bet points, I think, right? That's how that works? Yeah! Maybe! I don't know how that works. There's polls, and there's predictions. I think the prediction can only have whatever. We'll figure it out. But I think doing a Kahoot on stream would be fucking hilarious. Does Peaches count as a cat or dog? Who's Peaches? I think those are a fruit. Oh wait, is Peaches your chicken? Is that what you named your chicken? Move into the country, eat a hole. Okay, so that is what you named your chicken. Okay. I think Peaches counts as a bird, which we would also do, like, a bird-a-day streams, because I think that would be dope. We'll just do the whole shebang, and I'll try not to rattle every... Not her fluffy pants. Have fun in the shower. Don't slip and fall and die. Also, I would like you to know, apparently most people do not say that. Apparently normal people do not say don't do the thing because you're going to trip and fall and die. That is very much a thing that my mother said growing up. And that is not, in fact, normal. Just FYI. Most people do not know that phrase of tripping and falling and dying. So just so you know, that's a thing. It's not a thing, but you know. My first slid over and I missed like half of the scene. So now we gotta pop a little bit of it. And restitch a section, but that's okay. Honestly, one of the easiest things to do. I'd rather have to pop it now than when I have a zigzag also on there. Oh, come on. Stop being a bitch. Fucking god damn it. You motherfuckers. But yeah, the new thing is the Dog-A-Day streams. I'm gonna start doing those on Tuesdays, because I'm trying to get back onto a schedule for streaming. So Mondays are always gonna be some sort of commission work, mostly fursuits. Granted, this isn't really commission work, but you know. This is what I have at the moment for commissions. Because I'm trying to get this done for the con. So Mondays, we're going to try to do commission work. Tuesdays are going to be our Dog Day streams. Wednesdays, I believe I also have set up as commission work. And I think we're doing Thursday as our day off from streaming. And then Fridays, I think, are gaming days, if I remember right. I have it set up on my schedule. Don't pay attention to the times, because I'm just going to stream whenever the vibes hit right. Whatever time of day I physically can, because sometimes you got doctor's appointments and shit, you know? And I'm just going to stream sometime that day. It might be the same time every week, it might be a different time every week. I don't know. I'm just going to stream when I stream. But we're going to start doing the dog days, and we're going to learn our dog breeds, and their histories, and all that good stuff. Because I think that'll be fun. And man, I really wish I could pull this thread out instead of it being a fucking asshole. Why? Why are you like this? Why are you the way you are? You know what? It's fine. It's fine. We got this. Don't worry about it. We got this, guys. This is much better. This is much better. Now we don't have a super duper fucked up scene. Only a little bit fucked up. God damn it. Why are you like this? You know, sometimes I really do just be sewing based on vibes, I feel like. Like, I just... What the fuck? That's alright. I'm gonna cut off the excess seam allowance. Because we don't need all that, it's excess. There we go. Nice little strippy strip. Same thing on this side. What very little excess seam allowance there is. And that's liquor brush time. I like to brush it in both directions, because I feel like sometimes it catches for one way, but not the other way. The 3D printer's done, guys! Wow! I can actually hear our music now. It's not so fucking loud in here. Alright. go. And now I just gotta brush out the front side. This is one of those seams that you're always going to see because it's a very hard line between the shaved and not shaved fur. Which is fine. Because it's a crotch seam anyway. You're gonna spontaneously combust. Don't do that. Not recommended, buddy. I do not recommend. If you spontaneously combust, I'm gonna sew with the audio on. I'm gonna do it. Buddy, no! Look what you did. Now you have to apologize to everybody in chat for what you did. For the crimes you have committed against chat. And yay, one more seam. Alright. So... first off, the 3D printer. 3D printing time. I think I have enough sticks, but I'm not sure. Here, hold on. We're gonna do... That's right, you apologize to chat. We're gonna do a mini break. And I'm gonna see how many sticks I have. I'll let you guys stay here so we can chat. But we'll do like a mini pause break to see if I have, because I have like all of those, and this one, which is a lot of sticks, and I feel like I don't need more sticks. So we're gonna find out. Oh, fuck! My thread's getting all twisted. Hold on. Bob, no! Bob, no! Alright, number 239 is an orangey color. It's a nice golden orange. Kind of close to gold, really. It's really just a gold. There we go. Get in there. There we go. And then we have 240, which is like a lilac. Very pretty lilac. I would love to show you guys. But you're way over there, and I'm way over here. So, 240. 240. It's not a lavender, it's a lilac. It's a little bit lighter than a lavender. 241 is fucking primrose pink. I don't know what I would call this, but it's like, it's that vintage comforter pink that all those fucking flowers are, you know? Like, it's a very, like, deep pink. Get in there. Man, this stuff's stiff. This stuff came out thick. We have 242, which I would call like wine or plum. It's a very, very dark purple. Here, hold on. I have decided I'm going to try taking you guys on an adventure. Come on. Adventure time, children. Whee! Bingus, don't be scared. It's just a stick. It's just a camera. Come on, guys. Not you, Bingus. Not you. Oh, good lord. My poor microphone. Yeah, we'll bring the mic over, too. There we go. You guys can't see shit. We got all our nice little colors right here. Look at that. Look at that nice wall of color. We've got number 243. 243. It's a very nice little purpley. This one I definitely would call like a grape. Like this is a purple if I've ever seen it. You know, like this is purple. This is what your medicine purple looks like, you know? When they're like, oh, it's grape flavor, and then it tastes like fucking acid in your mouth. Purple. What was this? 243. That's this one. And then we've got 244, which is not a purple at all, but it's more like Christmas red. You know, like what's that flower that they always have at Christmas? That I don't know why people buy them, but it exists. I don't know. Those ones. It's a nice deep cherry, you know? Like it's a little bland, but it's still cherry. And then we got 245, which is this nice sage? Holly, yes, that's the plant. Is it? Is it the plant that I'm thinking of? I don't know. We got this nice, like, sage, or like, it's a nice light green, like a pale, just a pale color. What was this? 245? 245. There you go. And now we've got 252, which I think is a gray. I think this is straight up just like a dark gray, to be honest. See, 262. Or is that a 5 and I just can't read? That's a 5. They don't always print the numbers very nicely on their labels. 254 is a nice copper. Poinsettia, that's what I'm thinking of. The weird one. Yeah. This is like a nice coppery bronzy color. It's 254. It's very important that we know what number they are so we can put them with the right bobbin. Because a lot of these colors are extremely similar. Like all these browns, they might as well be the same brown, you know? Speaking of browns, we're on to 257, which is like copper and dirt had a baby. So, copper dirt. Like, it's a bit of a yellowy brown, but it's like not a pretty yellowy brown. It's an ugly yellowy brown. It's like a true sad brown color. But shiny. True sad brown, but shiny. That's what this is. There we go. And then we're on a 258, which is also brown, but a little less sad. This is like your true dirt brown right here. This is brown. You really can't see shit because we're backlit out the ass. There we go. Brown. I had to rewrap the bobbin because it was all skedaddly everywhere. That's my real problem with these, is that they get real skedaddly. And then we got little tiny threads everywhere. What was this one? 259. This is a dark brown. This is like tabby brown, you know. I love dirt brown. Dirt brown is the best shade of brown, not gonna lie. Like, if you had to pick a brown, dirt brown is the best brown. That or, like, terracotta. But that's not really a brown. 63, right? That's what that was? No. It was 59. That's this guy. Then we move over to 61, which is like... Oh, what's it called? It's a purpley blue. What's a purpley blue color? That's orange. Terracotta's like a red-orange color. But yeah, mostly orange. We got like this purpley blue. It might not look very purpley blue on screen, I don't know. But this is number 261. There's 262. I think it's down, yeah. See, because if you pull this out down here, this is straight up fucking purple. This is like... This is grape. This is grape purple. This is like a blue grape, you know? Like, it's not a true purple, but it's purple. And now we got 262, which is blue. Straight up blue. This guy. This is why we have to pay attention to the numbers, because they look way different on their little guys than they do on their actual bobbins. Because, like, you look at this and you're like, oh, yeah, that's like a dark blue. And it's like, no, that's blue. That's the blue. That's like primary blue. Oh, here you go. Here you go. This will be your favorite. Fucking bright. Pixel would love this color. This is pixel green. That's what this is. It's not as bright, but it's as bright as we can get with this thread. And this is number, what, 262, 264? 264, that's what he is. And then we got 266. Yellow. 266 is like a... It's very much a pink. Like, this is like a true pink. A very bright pink. 266. Like, this is the pinkest pink to ever pink. Well, that's not true. This is like a rose, I guess. This is like a rose pink. This is the pinkest pink to ever pink. What number are you? Okay, I don't know. That is like a hot pink, though. And we're back to our browns with 271. This is kind of like a... This is like a bronze. Like a bronzy gold. It's a very... It's a goldeny color. I think if you put it next to the right colors, it would look gold. And if you put it next to different colors, it would look like a sad brown. There you are, 271. Color theory and all that jazz. And then we got 272, which is the ugly version of 271. Honey but brown, yeah. This is brown but honey. This is very much like a sad copper. This one exists. And now I'm out of little clippies, but I still have several more colors to go. I have at least some. I have at least some colors I need to print clips for. Print bobbin clips. Which means it's the end of your guys' adventure. You get to go back in the corner where you belong. Don't look at the office, it's a mess. Don't look. Everything's everywhere right now. It's not usually this messy, I swear. Here, watch your ear holes. There you go. And then I gotta move the laptop so I can move you guys back into the corner some more. Lies. Bingus has fled the scene. She does not wish to be here because I keep moving the stick. The stick of doom. There we go. And now you guys are back in your corner. Where you're supposed to be. Oh, that might be a little bit low. My bad. And we're back. Is it pretty? I don't know what it's doing. It just says bobbin clips. It's not doing it. Okay. It was warming up the build plate. That's what it was doing. Fucking weirdos. Except now I have to figure out how the fuck I need to put these together in order to do what I want to do. So, these are our little triangles that we need to get sewn in order to sew the sides. But this is our center stripe here. So this is, you know, like right down the middle. It's got our zipper. So, I think if I'm not a complete dumbass, it's supposed to sew... This is not the right leg parts. It's supposed to sew... Yeah, like that. Okay, okay. So yeah, best course of action is going to be sewing the crotch pieces together. Thank you for the check-in! For everybody else, if you haven't checked in yet, use your channel points, do a little check-in. Let Twitch know you're here. We're trying something. We're doing an experiment with our check-in. Because I don't think Twitch counts people who aren't actively chatting. So doing this little check-in lets Twitch know you're here, and thus your views count. Otherwise, they don't count because Twitch is a meanie. Don't tell him I said that, though. I'll get fired. Baby Man's! Yep, he came back. He's nosy. And Bingus is in her chair. Everybody's here again. Hello, Baby Man's. We did not start the poll of, is Baby Man's gonna beg for pets today? You know what? Let's do that. Because he hasn't yet. He did come in and say hi, but he hasn't, There we go. Put your predictions in now. Is he gonna beg for cuddles in the middle of stream today? It's 50-50. So far, he has said hi and he has gotten his boops. He may or may not beg for cuddles. That was such a nice scene. I like that everybody says he's gonna beg for cuddles. Everybody's predicting it. I'm gonna laugh if he doesn't. I'm gonna laugh if he doesn't. You guys don't know that. Maybe he's a big boy. Maybe he's a big boy who doesn't need cuddles today. Maybe he is still a baby and he's gonna need cuddles. You dare accuse of lies? You dare! Like father, like son, you say. It's rude. It's very, very rude. How dare you? Alright, alright. And we got a full bobbin. Oh no, get your little tail out of there though. Get your little tail out of there. Oh my god. Snippy, snippy. There we go. It shouldn't be this hard to refill a bobbin, but sometimes it do. Oh, why not? The fuck you mean, nuh-uh? The hell? What the hell? Are you... Your stupid little tail! I swear to God. This is why we can't have nice things. Come on. There we go. There we go. Sewing, I swear. Well, now we got this. We got this, we got this. Alright. Now I gotta pick up wherever the fuck I left off on this. There it is. I found it, don't worry. We did get a little loopy in the beginning, but it's okay, it worked itself out. This machine is not made for the upholstery. This is like a heavy-duty nylon thread. It's essentially upholstery. It's the same kind of thread they use to sew seat belts with. So it's not really made for home machines. And this machine isn't even a good home machine, technically. It works great for what I want. I love it. Most people who are, like, professionals would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But yeah, here we go. We've got this. We got our leggies. So this is our crotch, right? So it'll go like so, and this will be the inner part of the leggies. Granted, I'm shorter than this person, so it's not showing up the same way as it would on the person. But, you know, this is the inner part of our thighs. And how do I... There we go. I'm learning, guys! We're doing it. We're doing the learning. Sitting. So now I gotta stitch these pieces together, right? So then I can stitch... Which side is this? Is this 1 or 2? This is 2. So then I can stitch... Yeah. Fortunately, you being nosy down there? He's over here smearing his face. He's just smearing on the fur that's dangling from my lap. Would you knock it off? He's like, oh, fabric! There's other pieces of fabric. Leave these ones alone, I'm using them. Now the really hard part. I have to stitch this somehow. Somehow. Ooh, I don't really know how, but we're gonna do it. We'll figure it out. We'll get everybody stitched together, it'll be fine. It's not wanting to feed through because of the zipper being a pain in my ass. And I also missed half the seam on the one side. So we're going to try from the other direction so that way the zipper sits on top when I sew. And hopefully that, you know, solves all those problems. I'm going to trim this, though, because that's a lot of excess seam allowance that we already don't need. There we go. Some excess is nice, because that'll give us wiggle room in our suit. That much excess was a lot. That much excess was excessive. Excessive. Anyway. But we're doing it. We're sewing. Poorly. Oh. There we go. And I think we did it! Yay, you're back! Getting distracted by the dogs are the best of things. You missed it. We did a whole bobbin. The 3D printer's done. Hold on. You came back and I remembered. The 3D printer. And... there we go. So, we've got this pretty much together now. It needs a brush in so that way it looks nice, but it exists. We also have this excess chunk of zipper. In my personal suit, I left it because I don't really care, and cutting zippers tends to do more harm than good. But I'm pretty sure I also stitched my crotch way differently than I did for this one, so... you know, we might end up cutting the zipper. That actually isn't brushing out too bad. It's a very nice seam. Look at you go. I'm doing it, guys. I'm making pretty seams. Yeah. It is very hard to get a nice seam on multiple cuts of fabric that are the same color, just because it's a pain in the ass for the fun of it. So to just stitch it and have a nice looking seam is always fun. Big fan. Big fan of that. There we go. Wow, wow, wow. Cut off that excess chunk. There we go. Now the hard part is going to be stitching this. Just in general. Oh. I have an email. Hold on. Is it an important email? Hold on, it's a kind of important email. I've never gotten one of these before. We're gonna do a little pause while I do some internet stuffs. I don't know if this is just a new thing they're rolling out. I sell crochet patterns on a website called Ravelry. And it looks like I'm fine. Cool. Why did you email it to me all of a sudden? It must just be a new thing that they're rolling out. So, whenever I sell those patterns to places like the UK or Australia, things like that, a lot of those countries have what's called a VAT tax. Which is what I end up having to pay if I sell enough of those patterns. My patterns are cheap enough and I sell them rarely enough that I don't normally have an invoice to pay. They'll say like, oh, you owe 19 cents, but they'll cover anything that's less than 75 cents, right? I don't have to pay if it's less than 75 cents, which is nice. But they normally don't send me an email for those, so that was a little odd. Just wanted to double check that something hadn't gone wrong, because that would be awful. My thread jumped out of my needle. There we go. And of course now it's starting to split at the end. Yeah. That is the only thing I don't like about this thread, is that it's a very slippery thread, and it has a tendency to fray a lot more. Now, I've decided things. I'm going to cut the zipper, and I'm just going to zigzag the ever-loving shit out of it. Because this is a lot of excess zipper to have in a bodysuit. Good lord, which one of you fuckers farted? Bingus, was that you? Holy shit, man. It's fucking rancid, babe. God. Just over here dropping an atom bomb in the fucking office. Chemical warfare. Good lord. Now, this much thread is probably overkill. I don't know how well you guys can see the stitching on that. You cannot, because I can't even hold it in frame. But there is an ass load of stitching right at the end of that zipper, because I do not want it coming apart. That is the last thing we want. So I've just stitched the ever-loving shit out of it. Huzzah. So now we have the center line, whoop, if I don't trip and fall and die, the center line of our suit, right there, for the most part, stitched all the way down. Which means that now we get to sew in our triangles. Hooray, triangles. I do need to double check, though, where exactly the triangles start and stop on these pieces, because that's kind of important. Because I'm pretty sure they don't go all the way down this piece, like I'm hoping. Except I don't know where the piece went. We have our crotch. We have our belly stripe. Which does something. We have our inner thigh, which is somewhere. Inner thigh, there it is. Get over here. Comes up like so. Right? Or is that the wrong way? No, this comes up like this. So then it goes like this. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Now I just need to figure out triangle piece. Triangle piece. There it is. Alright. Cool. Is that correct, though? That's my real concern, is whether or not that's actually how that goes. Which the answer is looking like yes. Okay. So, these pieces, these little triangle pieces, are supposed to go all the way to the edge of these pieces. Which doesn't really look like it wants to. I'm going to assume that's because of seam allowance, though, because there is extra there. And we're going to make it work. And it should be here. We got this, don't worry. No, we don't got this. Everybody's slicky slidey and everywhere. Get under the fucking foot pedal, I swear to God. There we go. Yeah! Well, too bad. You gotta be under the foot pedal. Them's is the rules. I don't make them, I just enforce them. That's stitched up like shit, though. It's just really ugly stitching. It's still functional. Now, if we brush this out, we should hopefully have a funky little triangle, which I'm probably going to have to come back and trim a little bit anyway, just to make it look a little nicer. Because we did not get this angle very well. No, we did not. But we do have a triangle. Let's see if we can't restitch that a little bit so that way it sits a little nicer. That's much better. Now, same old. We trim the excess, we brush out the seam, all that good stuff. And the 3D printer's done again. Guys, I gotta stream at 4. Did you know that? There we go. I'm gonna just do a little bit more stitching and then we'll go restart the 3D printer. Thank you for the stream check-in. We're gonna restart these. So we can get a few more printing. We're just gonna use up all our yellow, I think. Good lord. I just bought this yellow filament specifically for making eyeballs. And I did print a set of eyeballs with them. Here, I could show you actually. I printed this set of eye blanks with the yellow filament. And these are the yellowest fucking things on the planet. They don't really show up on screen how yellow they are in person. These fuckers are highlighter yellow. Like, they are so yellow. But I would love to make a suit that has the yellow eyes. I think that would be dope. Now we gotta sew on this one. We're getting there, though. We've got, like, some suit together. We're getting there, we're getting there. Eeh! Oh. There we go. I've been trimming the edges of my cuts. Dealer's digits! Hold on, guys. Fuck sewing. I gotta go be nosy and possibly angry. Hold on. That's what that notification is? Cool. Ooh, they got a lot more in their 18 plus 10 this year. I see Quack Quack Honk is back. I don't recognize a lot of these. Oh, there's Cosmel. There's Cosmel again. Now, unknown to Cosmel, I have minor beef with them. Cosmel is a perfectly swell person. I love Cosmel, don't get me wrong. But it seems like every dealer's den I apply for, they also apply for, and they always get in. Like, they get into every dealer's den on the planet, and it's kind of annoying seeing them literally everywhere. Again, no offense to Cosmel. This is just me being spicy for myself and a little annoyed. They are perfectly good people. Cosmel is good, don't worry. But I am a little annoyed because they've been in the dealer's den for the last several years at MCFC. And I get denied for dealer's den repeatedly at MCFC every year. And they're like, don't worry, we're always trying to get new people in. And for the last 2 or 3 years, it's been pretty much the exact same handful of people. So it's nice that they do have a lot of new people this year, it looks like. I don't know if any of you guys recognize a lot of the people there. I recognize Cosmel, and I recognize Quack Quack Honk. I don't know that I recognize anyone else in the main dealer's den. Obviously, in the 18+, there's 14 werewolves, there's Lycanthropy. It's not like there's a whole lot of people that apply to the 18+ section. Hence why it's so small in the first place. So I feel like whoever does apply for 18+ gets 18+, is kind of how that works, generally speaking. I do see a few new ones in there, though. They usually only have, like, the 2 or 3 that show up. So having a whole, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 18+ vendors this year is new. Kaiju Riot, okay. Yeah, the rest of them I haven't really heard of, so it's nice that... I think RGB might have been in there last year, because I feel like either they were in there or they were at a different con, and that's where I recognize them from. Nomadic Lasers. Is that who I think they are? This isn't a real website. They've got a link that isn't even an actual link. I think they might be who I think they are. In which case, they were in last year as well. Yeah. I do know. This is the table that was at the front last year when you first walked in the dealer's den. And they had all of the laser cut wood stuff, and they had like a lot of knitting needle measurers and stuff like that, and a lot of like mean little cutouts. So they were in there last year. Yeah. We'll see, because I don't, that's the thing, I might recognize the work and not know the names. Bedbound and Beyond is funny, though. I feel like I'd remember that one. That one seems new. Bedbound and Beyond. That's cute. So it is nice that they seem to be getting some new people in. I don't know how many of them are actually new, though. It looks to be a lot less than what their normal dealer's den is, just in general. Like, it's a lot of double tables, I'm noticing. Which is kind of annoying. Like, they knew they had to downsize, and they still have most of their vendors are double spaces. When they could have just done more vendors with smaller spaces. I don't know if that's up to the con. That's just my personal opinion. Hopefully, because I do know they got screwed over quite a bit this year, just on the whole. Because I know the venue was not working in our favor. So hopefully next year they'll get way more space for Dealer's Den, I would hope. And we can actually have the same amount, if not more, vendors than we had at the old venue. Because this is definitely a downgrade from last year's venue. Because last year I think we had, I think they said like 45 spaces, so it ended up being like 30 vendors or something like that. And that was a decent amount. This year, it looks like there's like 20. There's like 20 vendors. Which is not a lot. But, you know, they're working with what they got. So, can't complain. Good for Cosmel, again. So, like, I'm glad they're getting what they're applying for. But I'm also annoyed that I keep seeing them literally everywhere. They do sell good stuff, though. I know they make fursuit sprays and lanyards. I know they sell t-shirts. There's not a whole lot of people that apply for cons that sell t-shirts and stuff, you know, so. There are t-shirt vendors, there's just not a lot of them. They fill a nice niche that I do not, unfortunately, so. It is what it is. I'm excited to see all the new people, though, see what they have to offer. Like, I understand too, like a lot of dealers' dens have what they call legacy dealers, which are just people that have been there the year before or in the past. And a lot of times they're like, oh yeah, well you were here last year, we would like to have you back again, which is perfectly fine. It gets kind of annoying when it's the same 10 vendors 5 years in a row, though, you know? Like, once or twice is one thing, but multiple years in a row is kind of annoying. Because, like, especially when you go to multiple cons and you see the same vendors at every con. Like, they're popular for a reason, I'll give them that. But it's also very... Because, like, a lot of these vendors also have websites. It's like, if I was going to buy something from you, you're a big enough name that I would buy it off your site, you know? I don't know. That's just me, though. We're gonna... There we go. Oh, come here, string. There we go. Nice little triangle. I am getting very frustrated with trying to vend just on the whole. Just in general. Not specifically with a certain con or anything like that. Because I apply to several each year. And it's gotten to the point where I've started applying to ones that I don't even think I would have the time or money to even vend at. Solely for the chance of vending at any. Because most of them I do get denied time and time again. And it's a little disheartening to try and vend. Like, back when I did nothing but crochet, I got into pretty much every art show and whatnot that I applied to. Now that I do this, which I'd argue is much higher quality than what I used to do, and much better than what I used to do, just on the whole, you know, I offer way more than I used to. It really feels like I don't get in anywhere, except for the one anime con that I applied to. I apply to one anime con and I get in. I apply to multiple furry cons, I don't. And I think that's more so just a difference in demand, you know, like the amount of spaces versus the amount of applicants. I do think it's an issue of oversaturation, because everybody and their mother is applying to be in dealers' dens at this point, whether or not they're even furry, you know? Much less the amount of furries themselves. Oh, hold on, there's drummer. And now I have opinions. I have opinions separate from that, for other things that are not stream appropriate, so we're gonna leave it at My machine is just being a bitch and a half at the moment. I don't know what it's looping about. Every now and then shit gets a little janky, and it creates a lot of loops. The stitching is still fine and secure, but It looks like a hot mess, and it uses way more thread when it does that, and I don't like it. Hold on, I gotta put my opinion into a chat. Alright. Brush. That's what I was doing. Brushing this triangle out all nice and pretty. There we go. Very nice, very nice. Just a few opinions. Yeah, I have several. As someone adjacent to the current topic, I have several opinions. But we got triangles now. Huzzah! Which means now we can do the kind of sort of side panels. They're not really side panels. They connect along the shoulders and then down. Like they're like over the chest rather than the dead center. And the triangles were the last piece I needed to actually have that happen. Because it should be... This is this one. Because it should line up right at the end with the triangles there. And then... Yeah, because this should line up. Yeah! So now we get to do this nice long piece. You see why this was an issue? This nice long piece comes all the way down along this, like so. And I couldn't sew the triangle in until I had this on, and I couldn't sew this on until I had the crotch. So now we're here, and this will give us our full shoulders, which then means we can sew the front half to the back half that's been sewn for weeks. So that's how this is going. I think we'll get these sewn on, and then we might call it for stream. Because I am ready for some lunch, and maybe a nap even. But believe you me, I will be blowing up chat. I will be blowing up the chat. Not really. I pretty much already summed up my opinions as non-violently as possible in chat. But I absolutely see that. There, buddy. Someday you'll be able to type. And now the machine's stuck. Fun. Sometimes a loop doesn't make it all the way around the loop. And we run into issues. Where are we stuck? Oh, that wasn't even close. Okay, cool. Nothing like having to take apart my entire sewing machine. So this is called the shuttle, I believe. And essentially the thread goes like this, right? It pulls a loop down around it like this, and it has to come... Helps if I don't drop the damn thing. And it has to come all the way around and above for it to pull the thread through, right? But sometimes tension gets a little fucky, or stitching gets a little fucky, and instead of going all the way around, it'll come up and it'll get stuck, usually around the center part somehow, because it'll come up above these and then get stuck here. But for some reason this time, it went around and it got stuck under this hook. Which I'm not even really sure how it did that, because that hook hooks onto other parts of the machine that I should oil, now that I'm thinking about it. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in my machine. It's been a minute. So it did a very unhappy with me. Yikes, that's a lot of looping. Why are we looping so much? I think I'm going to have to... Good lord. Is there a reason for this? Sometimes it's just a matter of taking this out and popping it back in. But... Loop, 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 loop. A little bit of oil. This is my clipper blade oil. It works just as well. Oil's oil, really. At least for this kind of stuff. It's all the same kind of oil. So, clipper blade oil and sewing machine oil work pretty much the same. Gonna let that. Put this back in there. Pop it back together. Put our lower bobbin in. And now hopefully everything runs a little smoother. There we go. It's always good to lube your machine. I don't know how often you're supposed to lube your machine. I do know you're supposed to replace your sewing machine needle every 8 hours of sewing. I change that bitch when it breaks. It might be 2 hours. It might be 20. If it sews, it sews, man. Like, I literally do not care. Sewing is sewing. There we go. That's much nicer. You hear how less chunky that is? Oh, that sounds so much smoother already. That is amazing. Now, this machine runs loud anyway, but... And force the machine. Yep, exactly. Pixel gets it. Hi, Pixel. We're making progress. Can I leave the audio on now when I sew, or is this still too loud? That sounded like a problem. That was, in fact, a problem. What the hell happened? Of course, Pixel, you show up right as my machine starts to throw a fit. I'm like, oh, let's see what you're up to today. The one time you come in on stream. And my machine decides now is the perfect time to misbehave for forever. What the hell are we doing here? That is causing all... Oh, goddamn, Bingle! Don't lay there farting at me! Oh my god, you smell like you're shitting your pants. That is rancid, babe. That is god-awful. So why are we doing the thing we're doing right now? What is suddenly different? Yep. Well, every once in a while, my machine just magically decides that suddenly, now is the time that we don't like behaving anymore. For no, like, nothing's changed. It's the same tension. It's the same stitch length. It's the same fucking lower bobbin, even. Literally, nothing has changed. Other than I sewed 3 inches further. No holes in my... Oh! What do you mean, holes in my bobbin? Like, there's the top holes. Like... The usual. But that shouldn't be an issue. He said no. Yeah, my machine also wants to stop for lunch. Apparently. Which is, it's hilarious because some days, like, I can sit here and I can stitch for 10 hours straight. Other days I start stitching and immediately... Oh, the bobbin casing. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's... Never had an issue. I will say, the alignment on my machine is god fucking awful. I would show you. In fact, I might send you a picture. Hold on. This is center, mind you. I'm going to show you what is center on my machine. You know what? I'll send it in the group chat so that you and Shay can both see what my machine thinks center is. And it came this way. When I bought it brand new out of the box, this is how it came to me. It's a little off. By, like, a little. I don't really know how it does lefts and rights at this point, with it being the way that it is. It also seems like maybe my tension is off. What? It's because my tension is off. It's fine. Works like a dream. I say as it immediately struggles to go through any... I think I might need to change my needle. I think it's getting dull. There it goes. Come on, cooperate with me. I hear it catching, and I don't know why it's catching. There we go. Good sewing machine. Good little sewing machine. I'm so proud of you, sewing a straight line for all of 30 seconds. This is the easiest part we're sewing today. The orange... Fuck you. Sewing machines are like printers. They smell fear. And sometimes you need to threaten to drop kick them out of a 4th-story window onto the cars parked below your hotel room. Look at that! Running like a dream! This is the quietest it's been in weeks. Probably because I oiled it. I don't know. I try to oil it fairly frequently, but... This thing's just a clunky-ass motherfucker. It's so loud as shit. Which is okay. It can be loud. I do not mind if it's a loud machine as long as it gets the job done. Again, came out of the box that way. This is why professionals do not recommend this machine in the slightest. Some would say this is one of the worst machines that have ever been on the market. That is true. I read a review that was like, I fucking hate this machine. It's the worst machine I've ever seen in my life. Yada yada, you know, so on and so forth. I'm gonna double check something. I'm gonna double check, because I don't think this is how this piece be. Just come down like this, right, yes. Oh. No, that is how that piece be. Ah, fuck. Damn it. Now I'm gonna give myself a pain in the ass. I think we have to pause. Why are we looping? Knock it off! Bad machine. Bad machine looping. Naughty. Naughty little sewing machine. Anyway. You want to talk about loop to loop. There's so many fucking loops. I don't know why it suddenly decided to be a dick. But it sure did. So here's the issue, right? We got this side panel, yeah? It goes past this triangle, though. And then it lines up with, like, the outer thigh, which sews up on this seam, right? So it's going to go like this, and then it's going to go like this. Which means we're going to have this really weird point that I'm going to have to sew on, and quite frankly, that might be easier to sew if I have the thigh pieces sewn together already. I don't know. Because if I grab... Forrest, you're fucking late, goddammit. You're fucking laying on it! Let me... Now that he's skedaddled. Because this is the back side. This is our butt cheeks and our outer thighs. So, what is this one? Okay, this piece goes here. I really am debating. But then that adds all of this fabric onto what we're working on. Just to make one seam slightly easier to sew. Yeet. We're just gonna sew it. We're gonna sew it as it is. Because then I'll be able to have just this sewn onto the back side, and then I'll be able to sew the butt on, which I'm going to hand sew anyway. Because buttholes. Buttholes gotta be hand sewn, them's the rules. I got fur in my nose. The one downside to working with this much fucking fur fabric. Yeah. Now please cooperate. Thank you. Appreciate it. Big preach, big preach. Now if you would continue to cooperate with me, I won't have to drop kick you out the window into the neighbor's house. Or the snow. You don't want to be in the snow, do you? Good machine. Good machine doesn't want to get thrown out in the snow. Look at how well it's behaving. Doesn't want to be thrown out in the snow like a good little machine. One. This does mean, though, that honestly I might not double stitch this seam for now. Just because it'll be easier later to do the entire seam. Or I could. I don't fucking care. It's all getting double stitched anyway. Doesn't matter how or when. Whoa! What did you do here, buddy? You, like, folded this bitch over. Alright. Whatever floats your boat, I suppose. This did cut it real close on this. I don't know that I like that, so we're gonna take this real quick. And I'm just gonna re-stitch this particular section. Don't be a bitch. What did I just say about being a bitch? There we go. Good sewing machine. Just because it got really close to my seam allowance there on that one. Hi, baby mans. What? What do you want? What time? It's 3:30, you motherfucker. You're not hungry. What? What do you want? Bingus is like, I want a fucking nap. A hydrate. Hello, Gemini Jinx. How are you doing? Welcome to chat. My antique sewing machine having a metal part somehow broken off from the tension. What? From the tension knob? Good lord. The tension knobs on these machines don't work for shit. Hence my weird wraparound bullshit I have going on here. But it's also not made for upholstery, so we're working with what we got. Look, guys, I have water today instead of Coke. Is it full of aspartame? Yes. But it's water that everybody insists I have to have to be hydrated. Can I help you? What do you want? What? You gotta go potty? Alright, dogs need a potty break. So, we will be right back. So that way everybody can go pee. Everybody go pee! Fucking womp womp. Fucking womp womp. You guys are dorks. Alright, we are back. Everybody had their potty break. And we're back to trimming our excess seam allowance on this. So we can brush it out and make it look nice. Make our very pretty seams. There we go. But we has returned. We exist. And for all the new people in chat, tomorrow we are starting something new called a dog a day, where we are going to go over different dog breeds, starting with whatever the first one in my book is, because I have a large book of dog breeds that are AKC and UKC recognized. I believe it starts with sight hounds, or like the ancient breeds, old world breeds, however you want to call them. So we will be starting with those, and we'll be learning about the breed. We'll be learning the breed history, the temperament, stuff like that. Oh, you hear my 3D printer going? I'm printing bobbin clips. So, here, I can show you. Hey. Not if I'm throwing stuff, I can't. I'm printing these little guys, so that way I can have little, it'll hold their little buddies. You know, it holds their little buddies. Because I'm sick and tired of having to dig around for the same color of lower bobbin for my embroidery machine. So I only have to print 78 of them. Downside, getting the fucking Soval to print multiple small prints at the same time is a pain in the ass, and I don't feel like fucking with it. So we're printing them 3 at a time, because that's the most it can do before it decides to be a bitch. And even then, it's still giving me issues. It's mostly issues between Orca and Clipper, but we're managing. But yeah, he's in the background. He's doing things. Yes! It's fucking awesome. Because now I don't have to dig through my stupid little bobbin cases, and I have my new little thread rack, so they all sit on the thread rack, which opens up so much space on my shelf. It's so nice. Now I can buy more shit to put on my shelf. That's the real reason we do this. So now we have an empty space that could be a new home for a new gadget. I don't have that kind of money. I really need to stop buying new shit. But we have space on our shelf. So we can rearrange stuff if we have to. I might make that where I put all my printer paper and stuff. Because currently my printer paper is up on this shelf. Which is really fucking inconvenient, because this is a deeper shelf than that one. And I would like to not have it be the way that it is. It's a very inconvenient shelf at the moment. Not organized in a good way at all. But, you know, we're working with what we got, so. Can I help you? Nosy butt. He's going over here smearing on shit. Yeah, that's definitely what I need. Of course it is. Of course it is. What if I want to get a second embroidery machine for all this embroidery that I'm totally doing? What if I want to get a larger heat press so I can print larger designs that are bigger than 5x7? What if I want to print full page 8.5 by 11 designs and heat press them with one big ka-chunk press? Because, like, I kind of do, not gonna lie. I really would rather do that than my stupid little handheld press. Serger! Okay, well that is not enough space for a serger, alright? Like, it's not enough space to fit one of these. Okay, so it's gotta be something, like, shorter than a sewing machine. But it could probably take up about... Like a that, you know? But, like, this. Sergers are not that short. They are not that short of machines. You're lying to me. Pixel, don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. I can't afford for you to lie to me, Pixel. I can't afford it, Pixel. Pixel. At least your drawing pen probably isn't as shitty as mine. Because mine rolled off the couch onto carpet once and it's been broken ever since. It's useless, but I have one. What do you mean it's useless? Like it just don't work? Or like you just don't use it? Oh, has she been outside? Hee hee. Me every time the dogs come in from running around outside. You are just outside. Don't look at me like that. I said outside and he goes all excited. It's more for looks, 4 cones are for durability. Ah, I see. I don't know, man. I do a zigzag stitch on this machine with the same thread that I'm stitching with to begin with, so I feel like that's pretty damn durable. Good to know, though, because I wouldn't know what kind of serger to buy. I didn't realize there was much difference in sergers. Kind of thought they all just did the one stitch. The one way. I like me and my zigzag, thank you very much. Sewing and it cuts off at the same time. Right, right. That is the nice part, is that it gets you that really consistent seam allowance. And it's nice and crispy looking. But also... that's a lot of money for something I can already do on my sewing machine, but slightly uglier. You know? Like, I don't care if it looks ugly, as long as it works well, right? Like, if you want it to look pretty, that's what full body lining is for. This machine is $50! That's 4 times the price of one of these bad boys! And this will last me years. Look, I'm surging right now! It's not happy with me, but it's doing it. It's probably really loud for you guys. Of course, of course. I get to the very end of what I'm doing. Oh my god! That's so many loops! It's a fucking chunk. That's alright. We're gonna end up going back over it later, so... There we go. You know what I did forget to do, though? I did forget to brush the seam, but that's okay. Because this is all a different color on, like... It's the medium gray on the white, and then it's on the dark gray, and then it's on the white again. Like, it's not touching any other medium grays, so... We don't care. It's still a pretty seam item. Look at that! Look at that! I just gotta brush it out on the front side. So then it'll look nicer on the front. I just didn't brush out the back of the seams. Which, oh well, I guess. Oh well, oh well. This'll actually, not brushing it out on the backs of the seams will help it look crispier, because it'll emphasize that seam. Which is nice, I suppose, I guess. I don't fucking know. It depends. Do you want the seam pronounced or not? Ta-da! Seam! It exists. It's pretty. You guys can't see shit. It all looks the same from your angle. It's different shades of gray, I swear. Our triangle's gonna have to be trimmed up, though, to make that look nice. I'm almost gonna brush it backwards because it definitely caught a decent bit of the triangle. I fully expect it to have to, because, like, this isn't bad. Like, this triangle doesn't look bad, right? It just doesn't look very triangle as much as it looks like vague blob. So, later on when we're doing our final touch-ups, we'll go by and we'll trim our fur to look a little bit crispier. I'll probably have to do the same for the other side, but that's okay. Yeah. Yeah. But now he's got to do the other side. Oh, yeah. I don't wanna. Guys, I don't wanna. I'm so tired. I did so much sewing. I did like a whole 5 seams today. So much. Whang. The 3D printer's done. Whang. I actually still need to trim the little fuzzies all there. There we go. Get off of there. There we go. And I warped it, that's funny. They're still really warm from printing, so me, like, punching them off the build plate is warping their shape because they're so thin and small. But I don't give a shit. As long as it does the job, I don't care that they look a little wonky. Also, I am running out of room for my 3D print scraps. Like, I should weigh that box, actually. Here. Sidetracking time! We're gonna weigh my box of print scraps. Now the cat is also on the bed. Dude, you got all the animals at the moment. They're being nosy. Here. Just behave yourself for a second, would you? There we go. Kilograms. Yeah, let's go. Now, this probably isn't going to be the most accurate thing, because I am going to have to support it, I think. Ah! We dropped a couple pieces. $1.4 something. I can't decide how much it actually weighs. Hang on. Are we teared to 0? We are not teared to 0, bitch. And then we're going to tear that to 0, right? 1.8 kilos. So, realistically, once we take the box out of there, it's probably like a little over a kilogram. Which is sad. It's not a lot of filament. That takes up so much box for not a lot of filament. But to be fair, most of the pieces I have in there are not broken down very well at all. Good lord. I do need to find somewhere that I recycle them, though. I do not know of too many places in the US that do filament recycling. It's all PLA. All of it. It's all, some of it's shit PLA, but it's all PLA. I would like to get it recycled. The only place I know of will recycle a kilogram and give you like $2.50 off their filament. Which is just, you know, normal solid color filament. And it's like, that's cool and all, but also I'm still paying for overpriced filament. And it's basic. Like, they don't even have black most of the time. They sometimes have white, and then they have like yellow, green, blue, you know, like your basic colors. It's like, if I'm going to send in this much filament, you know, like, I have at least a kilogram. And if I keep saving until I have a few kilograms, like, I would happily pay for them to recycle and send me back the exact filament I sent in. You know? Like, if I send you in 2 kilograms of filament, I will happily pay $30-$40 to get a kilogram of filament back. You know? Especially, like, that's the thing, like, I'm paying so much money to mail it in. Because it's mail-in stuff. There's no, like, drop-offs. Oh, hey, guess who's begging for cuddles? Guys, guess who's begging for cuddles in the middle of stream right now? You were right. He did, in fact, beg for cuddles. Look at him. Yeah, poor baby. Poor baby's not getting enough attention. Mwah, poor baby. Poor baby. Everyone's surrounded, yep. Bingus is here too, you just can't see her. You can see her tail, maybe. You see her tail. You're a good girl too, Bingo. Hi. Do you want uppies? Yeah, you want uppies? Well, you gotta come here. Yeah, come here. Oh, good lord. Oh, good lord, don't step on my crotch. Oh, come on. There you go. Get your tail out of there. It's doggy time. This is not comfortable for me, bud. This is my 50-pound dumbass. Who is a dumbass. Boop, the baby man's. Boop, 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 boop. Come here, let me boop you. Boop, boop. Oh, God. Just sudden yeets, good lord. You're lucky I caught you. Yeah, hi, Bingus. Hello, Bingle. Hi, hello. Oh, good lord, Bingus, that was your face. Babe. You guys saw that, right? Smacking her face on my chair. Hello, Bingle. You're so furry. You're shedding so bad. Yeah, literally. He was like, I no longer want to be on the lap. He just wants attention. You gonna get back in your chair? Okay. Yes, hello. Hi. Come here. This is my son. Look at his face. Look at him. Look at his beautiful little face. You're so good. Yeah, you good boy. You good baby. Oh my goodness. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now is not the time, bud. It is not. It is not the time. No. Nuh-uh. Bitch. I will blow a raspberry on you. I will. That's what I thought. Go. Go get your dad. Go bug him. I don't know if I'm hungry or just snackish. If I'm snackish, all I have to snack on are saltine crackers. I mean, crackers are pretty good, though. I like me some saltines. No more trains. They all fell off the tracks. There they go. We just gotta do something. Why do I have this extra string here? Snippy, snippy, the extra stringy wingy. Burp. My eyeballs. There you go. Oh, guys, I really don't want to sew. I'm tired now. I think we're gonna take a break. And by take a break, I mean I think we're gonna end stream. Because that's kind of all I feel like doing today. I might get back to it like an hour or two and sew a couple more pieces if I feel like it. But at the moment, I think I'm hungry. I haven't eaten yet today. That's not true. I had like a handful of rye chips. A nap also sounds good. I had like a handful of rye chips. Yes, I shall get some actual num-nums. We have leftover potato soup that I made last night. So, you know, it's got potatoes and it's got soup. I also really have to do dishes. We have so many dishes in our sink right now. So I'm gonna go eat, probably do some dishes, all that good stuff. But we're gonna find somebody to raid. Is anybody I know streaming right now? Who feels like pottery? Let's go bug some pottery. We're gonna go see what they're up to. And tomorrow we're gonna do our dog a day stream. And we're gonna start learning about different dog breeds. And we'll do that. And then I'll do a doodle of whatever breed we do that day. And then the following stream, you gotta pay attention. You hear me? You gotta pay attention because the following stream we're gonna do a Kahoot about it. We're gonna do a Kahoot about whatever breed we learned about the last stream. And whoever wins, I don't know, gets bragging rights or something. But we're gonna do a Kahoot. So we gotta do a learning. We gotta actually, you know, remember the info we're learning. We're gonna learn all the good stuff. It'll be lots of fun. But yeah, so I'll see you guys next stream. Yes, and we'll Kahoot. I'm so excited. I'm gonna figure out how to do the Kahoot on stream. It's probably just gonna be really simple, but you know, we'll figure it out. But I'll see you guys next time.